All right. What is happening, still a nation? What is happening, still a lovers, still a haters, and all of the above? What's going on? What's good? In and out, guys. In and out. Post-game reactions. I did not see the game. My son had an AAU tournament today. As luck would have it, first game was right before the 1 p.m. hour. The second game was later on at about 3. Did not see the game, guys, so I'm going to just give you my thoughts and feedback based off of what I see just from the stat line and a few plays that I did see kind of on a quick, I took a quick moment to, peek at the last crack at it, if you will, but I have not watched the game. Let's get to it. First, let's say hello to the early commenters. I see hello, the lovely Odessa in the building. Hello, Odessa, and any of the other lovely ladies that still a nation that may show up here tonight. Guys, y'all know the routine. Make sure you say hello to them, treat them with care, and roll out the red carpet for them. Dr. Trey 88, he's saying, how could anybody defend Tomlin? Okay, well, we'll talk about it. Again, I don't know what all happened. I think you're talking about a 4th and 1. He says instead of kicking a field goal or running, you should you throw a deep ball. Okay, I don't know what happened there. I'm gonna rely on you guys. I want to hear from y'all. I want you guys to tell me what happened in this game because I didn't see it. I'm gonna give you my opinion based on the stat line, and I'll come back and have more thoughts to share with you guys on Tuesday. Should have a few more thoughts. Actually, hold on. Tuesday, tomorrow's the 29th. Okay, yeah. Tuesday should be, I was just making sure it wasn't New Year's Eve. Let's say hello to Ali Howard, my man Kenyon in the building, of course. Love all the woman. He says, yo, awesome channel. You and Smitty still stream. No, we haven't in a while. Me and Smitty still tight. We just haven't been able to connect in a while, man, because of the schedules being off, but we might get back to it. Mark Cunningham in the building. Deet 1 in the building. And there you have it. So let's get to it. Victor Gonzalez also, he says, this is Tomlin football and meaningful games always comes up short. Okay, like I said, everybody's going to have their opinions about coaches and things of that nature. I'll entertain them when it's necessary. But other than that, we'll just have us respect everybody's opinion. So, all right, let me ask you guys. What was the real issue? What happened in this game, guys? Stat lines say a lot. Clearly, the offense didn't do nothing. Clearly. Aaron Rodgers was 21 for 39, 168 yards, 53.8. An average of 4.31, 2 sacks, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Jaylen Warren, looks like Jaylen Warren had the best average. I don't know if this was early in the game or later in the game. Like I said, I saw a couple runs that I just scanned through the replay. I didn't watch the game yet. 12 carries, for 64 yards, 5.3 average. And it says a fumble. So Jaylen Warren fumbled the football. Also says Aaron Rodgers fumbled the football. Also says Valdez-Scantling fumbled the football. So I think I saw the play when Scantling fumbled but recovered. What I don't know is whether or not the Steelers, I don't know what the turnover margin was. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on, guys. Let me get to the stats. Where are the team stats? Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can find it. Game stats, recap. I can never remember where this stuff is on NFL.com. I never can tell where it is. Hold on, guys. Let me look at another page here. Hold on. Then I'll come right to you guys. Let me go to another page because NFL.com. I do not like. Even when you go to the when you go to the next gen stats, it's so deep that it still doesn't give me what I need. Okay, here we go. Team stats. Here we go. What am I looking for? All right. The Steelers had 2 interceptions. The Jack Sawyer, also Kyle Duggar. Okay, I did see that. So I think we won. I want to say we won the turnover battle. I'm not showing that we lost the fumble, but I'll come to you guys in a moment. Y'all let me know. I think that one with Aaron Rodgers, I did see the one play where they showed a highlight of it where Rodgers was hit by Delpit and it kind of went forward to Jonnu Smith, I think. So I think maybe that was counted as a fumble. So it doesn't look like, at least what I'm looking at, here we go, team stats. It doesn't appear that the Steelers, my bad, guys. Hold on, got the browser playing there. It doesn't look like we lost a fumble from what I'm seeing. I don't know. I'm not going to waste so much time trying to find that. I'll let you guys in the chat tell me. But again, let me get back to what I was saying, guys. Listen, from what I'm seeing just from the stat line, we didn't produce enough offense. I mean, even when I kind of tracked the score while I was at my son's game, I looked and I saw it was 10-0 at one point. I'm like, okay, what type of game are we having? And then I saw the Steelers slowly but surely getting back into it. It was 10-6. I looked at the stat line again, and again, the offense only put up 6 points. Aaron Rodgers did not throw for more than 200. We didn't have a 100-yard rusher, even though we rushed for 131 yards collectively. Highest catch total, 63 yards to Pat Fryermuth, 3 catches, a 29-yard long. Outside of that, Scotty Miller had a 15-yard long, 25 yards on the day. Valdez-Scantling, 21 yards. Jonnu Smith, 18 yards. Darnell Washington, 15 yards, which I did learn from Kenyon. And then I saw the headline, Darnell Washington has a broken arm. Yeah, it looks like we didn't lose any fumbles. Okay, so I just found that stat. And to me, guys, that was the case. I've been saying this for a long time. Let me get to the chat. I want, again, you guys tell me in you guys' opinion what happened to this game. Let me quantify what I'm saying here. I did not watch the game yet. I was at an AAU tournament. Hey, if there's any good news, my son's team, they did win this tournament. They got themselves another medal for winning this tournament. So that went good. Other than that, I didn't see anything. And I decided I was just going to do this show without rewatching it, guys, because at the end of the day, honestly, it doesn't matter, right? This is what I was concerned about. This is what I was concerned about. I told you guys before you start getting so excited that we win in Baltimore, whether controversial or not, and then we win, we beat the Dolphins the way we did and kind of shutting down that offense and then going out there and competing heavily with the Detroit Lions and getting that win, regardless of how controversial it was. I told you guys that I have not seen enough of this team play consistently on both offense and defense together. Have not seen that enough to think that this team is going to do anything. Y'all know I've been on record saying that. I've also been on record saying, man, if they could put performances together where it's complementary football, yeah, I think they could play with most of these teams. I do. I still think that. But I don't believe that they will do that because we don't see the evidence of it. Here's an opportunity where you can go in and win the division this week. Yes, you got to go to Cleveland. Yes, credit to Cleveland. They have a really good defense. Look at the stats. I know some of you guys are going to pull the whole, it's no excuse, blah, blah, blah. It's Cleveland. Yeah, it's Cleveland. But Cleveland defensively is tough against an offense that is challenged like the Steelers, right? That's challenged because of limitations in scheme, but also when we don't execute, we don't have a great day. So this was not a good matchup offensively going into this game if y'all really pay attention. I said as much. Then I think we should be able to go in there and win? Sure. You held the team to 13 points. We should have won. But the offense produced 6 points. That is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Plain and simple. Shout outs to the defense, man. Just looking at the stats. Held Cleveland to 78 yards rushing. Held Shador to under 200 yards passing. Threw 2 interceptions. I think, what was Shador? Let me see. 168 on the day? It's nothing. It's nothing. Shout out to Shador Sanders. 17 to 23. Yeah, it was 73%, but, you know, an average of 8.09, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, sacked twice. Let's see what his longest, let's see, there was a long of 42 yards to Tillman, a 28-yarder, a 15-yarder, a 19-yarder, a 16-yarder. Okay, so he had some explosive passes, but they did not kill us, guys. Jared Jeudy, 5 receptions for 54 yards. Hardly any yak. Tillman had 14 yards of yak. Jeudy had 4 yards of yak. Sampson had, somehow he has 13 yards of yak, but he only has, he has 3 receptions for 0 yards. So he must have had a 13-yard, long 13-yarder as far as yak, maybe, you know, breaking tackles behind the line of scrimmage. I don't know. But anyway, guys, yeah, I'm sorry, not 168, 186. Shador Sanders was 186 and 2 interceptions, 13 points. I just don't understand it, guys. Round of applause really quick, man, to the last King of Scotland. I appreciate that. And then I'm going to get in the chat because I want you guys to tell me how this game was lost. Also, I see why I did get in here. Appreciate that, Wonder Bread, good folks. Round of applause. He says this will be 2 years in a row in which Pittsburgh blows the division crown. If they lose next week, I would clean house, void DK money for being an idiot. DK, I think the Steelers, they've already said they're picking that up. They're not going to void his money. So I don't know, they still have a chance to do it. And that's why I put DK in the thumbnail. I did that purposely, and I'll tell you guys about that in a moment. Why Diggy says the offense didn't execute today. Seems like Aaron Rodgers seems to force the ball to MVS at the end of the game after Freiermuth got us down there. Yes, I actually saw that. I did watch that last drive. I know TMI, but I was just, never mind. Let's just say I was in the restroom before the show started and I had my laptop. I said, all right, let me look at this. I looked at the last, y'all can assume what was going on. But I said, let me look at the last drive. And I looked at that chunk of 40 seconds. And yeah, 3 straight shots to MVS. We'll get to that in a second as well. Here's another one, man. Who is this? Keith V. Nelson. Round of applause, good brother. Hey, man, I'll tell you this. I appreciate your Wonder Bread and your comment. I get it, man. The fire Tomlin thing is not going to happen, but I respect it. I respect it. But I will ask this question, and here's another thing. Let me just get to the chat, because I asked you guys to tell me how we lost the game. So let me read some chats first before I finish up with my thoughts. Let me see what y'all got. Let's see. I'm gonna go back here to the top. Leonard Green says, I didn't want to see this game because I called this game earlier in the week. Fair. Knight Rider says, team was flat overall. Seemed like last week was their championship. I'm not going to say that, Knight Rider, but I feel you. If you say the team came out flat, obviously they did. The offense didn't do nothing. Cade says, our offense didn't show up. Yep. Dr. Trey 88 says, these decisions were made in the past few years are coming back to harm us. Malik Willis and Shador out here balling. Here we go. And we trade away GP and Metcalf basically does the same thing. Listen, man, every one of us has 2020 vision when we look in hindsight, right? Yes. Y'all recall the night when we drafted Kenny Pickett. Y'all recall the look on my face. Y'all recall my response when I said, I'd rather have Malik Willis. Y'all remember that? Right? Let me tell you something about Malik Willis. Didn't work out in Tennessee. Didn't pan out. Will Levis beat him out, right? Now Malik Willis in his 4th year is looking like, okay, he might be a decent quarterback. Here's my case in point. Steeler Nation, I don't think y'all allow that to happen. Y'all don't allow that to happen. If Malik Willis struggles like he did in Nashville, the same way Kenny Pickett kind of struggled with us, y'all want him out of town. Y'all want him out of town. I don't know that to be fact, but based off of recent history, how we seem to behave in Steeler Nation, y'all want that kid out of town. Y'all are saying that that's a bad pick, right? We're only talking about Malik Willis in 2025, year 4, looking good in the game last night. Shout outs to him. Let him have played the way he was looking in Tennessee, getting beat out by Will Levis. You guys would want him out of town the same way you wanted Kenny Pickett out of town. The whole thing about trading GP, let's stop acting like we don't know why the Steelers traded George Pickens. Can we stop acting like we don't know why? Let's stop acting like that, Steeler Nation. We better than that. And as far as DK Metcalf, stupid mistake. Very stupid mistake. That's why I have DK Metcalf sitting there in the thumbnail, because, hey, maybe it cost us today without his presence. Maybe. Maybe it will cost us next week, seeing as that he had a huge game against the Ravens the first time. So that's why I'm focusing on DK Metcalf. But also, DK Metcalf has not been what George Pickens was throughout the season in terms of behavior. Just my opinion. But come on, let's don't do that, Dr. Trey. I'm upset too, but let's not do that. Let's not overlook the reality of things. CT Pittman says, basically offense played scared to keep Garrett from getting the sack record. Oh, okay. All right. I can't wait to watch and see what's going on. Steeler Card says 3 straight plays of MVS against Ward is something. Yeah, I didn't understand that, man. And it looked like a couple of those, it looked like MVS may have either run the wrong route or they weren't on the same page, because the first 2 were nowhere near him. That last one I'm going to talk about here in a second. I think this is Debbie. Hey, Debbie. Good to see you. Hello, Miss Lady. Always good to see you. Always good to see you. Debbie was just saying hello to everyone. Who else we got? Fat Even says, great win, Shador and Cleveland Browns. Oh, okay. Shout outs to Shador. I mean, I don't know how great a win is for the Browns with this only being their 4th win of the season, but, shout outs to them. What else we got? Servo Z says, I knew it would be tough because they have the number 1 pass defense, if I'm not mistaken, and they're top 5 against the run too, I think. Yeah, I think people are overlooking that as well, Swerve. Cleveland has an outstanding defense. I know y'all going to say, look at the records. We constantly say in every football division games matter. You throw the records out. I knew it was going to be tough. Didn't I say it was going to be tough to go to Cleveland with our offense? Yeah, we handled them early in the season, but listen, that's just how it goes. I would have pegged us to lose this game before it was on the line. I look more back early in the season at some of those games we should have won that we lost because we weren't playing complimentary football. This one is just highlighted because this one was, quote unquote, for the division crown. But again, guys, as fans, I keep the perspective and I look at the totality of this team. I don't know why there's so much, we're gonna do this. I don't know where y'all got that from. The reason why I've been saying for weeks, did I not say it? Whatever this team does from this point on, I'm gonna just let them surprise me. I do not think this team is a playoff winning team, nor a Super Bowl winning team. I've been consistently saying that. However, if they get in, sure, there's a chance because they might have a game again where they complement each other offensively and defensively. And special teams, which I learned that Boswell missed another kick, which in the grand scheme of things, when you look at the score, I don't think it mattered. But let me see what else we got. Diggy says some of the play calls were baffling. Aaron Rodgers forcing it to MVS. Yeah, man. Odessa said the players were dropping balls. Aaron Rodgers, several passes overthrown. Okay. What else we got? David Bortner says, Baja, loser culture. Loser team, loser fans. Played a team 75% rookies and lost. Okay, thanks for showing up, David. I don't know why you're here. I appreciate you though, but I have literally never gone to another team show ever, whether the Steelers win or lose. So for you guys that do that, hey, I thank you for coming and checking me out. But I mean, okay. Round of applause, man. I missed the Wonder Bread. My good brother, C.T. Pittman. Round of applause. Round of applause. He says, what DK did was wrong first and foremost, but I still don't understand how that warrants a 2-game suspension while actually spitting on someone is a 1-game suspension. Yeah. Very true. The only thing I can say, CT, is, that's the shield protecting the shield. They're protecting the image. It's the only thing I could think of. Well, you put your hands on a fan. That's the only thing I could think of is the shield protecting the shield. Again, guys, because I may have missed some of the early ones. I'm scrolling down to the bottom again. I want you guys to tell me why you thought we lost. I'm here to hear it all, because again, I did not watch the game. Again, I've repeated myself, but I know there's new viewers coming in and out. I was at an AAU tournament all afternoon. I did not watch the game. I just kind of peeked at the score from time to time, and I will rewatch it before Tuesday and give you my real reflections. But I want you guys to give me your honest thoughts why we lost the game. What do you guys think went on in that game that lost us the game? Who do you guys put the blame on? I just want to hear it. I'm always curious to know where everybody's perspective, because again, of course I'm seeing the Tomlin lost it. I'm seeing that, of course. That's always what we say when we lose, whether it's right or wrong. That's always the go-to. But again, an offense that only scores 6 points, I don't know. I don't know how I put that all on the head coach all the way. I might not even put it all the way on Arthur Smith. I mean, again, y'all know I pound the table about player execution. Clearly, they won't execute today for whatever reason. But what happened out there? Debbie says, thank you, Sam. Pickens is the same guy, just more passes to him. That's it. Brett Richards says, this is why we need a number 2 and not wide receivers pushing 40 years. So I ain't mad at you about that, man. Did Roman Wilson get any burn today, guys? Did he play? How did that work out? I'm assuming he did, right? Or did he? Because I think it was a couple times. I know I saw MVS and I saw Thielen on that last drive that I watched, but I wasn't paying attention to who else was on the field. Zubu Man says the fact that they beat the Steelers is great for them. It would have been great if the Steelers beat them. Yeah, true. Dr. Trey 88 says DK killed our season. We might as well kept GP. Let's do this. Let's do this, Dr. Trey 88. You know you my guy. We'll shake and agree to disagree. I'm not going to say DK killed our season. I am absolutely not. Again, y'all know me. I am not a one-game type of guy, a one-play type of guy, a one-incident type of guy. The Pittsburgh Steelers had 16 games in this season to have a better record right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers could already be at 10 wins, perhaps 11. Right, if I'm being modest. There's at least 2 games early in the season that I feel like the Steelers should have won or could have very well won that they did not. DK Metcalf being suspended did not kill the season. The Steelers' offense hasn't been phenomenal when they've needed to be. Yes, we've been better at times, but the Steelers have not played complementary football on defense and offense enough in the 2025 season to be a surefire playoff team. That is where we are. This is what I've been saying the entire season. So DK Metcalf, to me, no, that did not kill the season. You should have been coming into this game already division winners because you had the opportunity to do so. It's just that simple. That's how I feel. Here's another thing. Well, I'm going to talk about it in a second. I'm going to show y'all how fair I am as a football watcher. Stay tuned. Let me see what else y'all got really quick. Mark Cunningham said the last one was P.I. Ward never turned up. Mark trying to beat me there. I'm coming right there, Mark. Y'all watch this when I get there. Steeler Car says wide receiver needs to be the first round pick. Okay. Kev Nelson says the same team, the Titans put 30 points on. Face it, we just suck. hey, Keith V. Nelson. Guys and gals, sometimes you just got to acknowledge that this team just ain't it. It's okay as fans to do that. It's okay. That's why I don't understand some of these expectations some of you guys have and some of the vitriol some of you guys have every time they lose, because I asked y'all at the beginning of the season, do you think this team is winning the Super Bowl? Most of you said no. So why do you overreact in these situations? I know there's a little itty bitty piece of hope, right? Ask my wife. We driving home and I was like, man, why couldn't they have just won that game? And I said to her, and I quote, I know they ain't going nowhere, but I mean, at least there's a chance if you get in. But I really don't expect them to go anywhere. So I understand how y'all feel. But that's why it's not overblown to me. I don't, honestly, I don't even care if they get to the playoffs this year. Because honestly, deep in my loin, I do not believe that they are going far anyway. And the handicap of it all is, if they finish 9-8, the very best that they pick is at 18. It is what it is, man. I told y'all what needs to be done, man. Until the Steelers invest again, you shot with Kenny Pickett, which wasn't the best shot. Take a better shot at another franchise QB until they get younger at quarterback. And I'm not putting all of this on Aaron Rodgers, but y'all will agree, Aaron Rodgers being 42 years old and some of his limitations with, mobility and all of that is showing. And it's fair. This guy's a Hall of Famer. He's 42. Look at the playoff field and look at the youth of the quarterback outside of a Matthew Stafford. He seems to still just be balling. But look at their offensive philosophy. It's just that simple, man. What else we got, guys? Then I'm going to get out of here. Infamous Tim, man, I appreciate that round of applause. Thank you for the Wonder Bread, sir. Tim said, number 10 barely had snaps, 0 targets. Now it's a concern. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, man. I know some of you guys have not been high on Roman Wilson, but I'm going to stick to what I said. This is my proof to you guys that I don't flip-flop. I think Roman Wilson was showing himself to be an asset before he got benched. The kid was getting open. I am going to keep a close eye on Roman Wilson because I would like to know what the problem is. Next year is going to be very big from Roman Wilson. I don't think enough opportunity, at least in my eyes, I haven't seen enough of him to say he is or isn't anything. But I'm definitely going to keep my eyes on it. I don't know what's going on there. What else? Give me a few more, guys. King Munchie says, Sim, the point is they, meaning they, thought that, he says, Tomlin put this team together personally. He said it to be a historic. It's on him. He said, well, you talking about the defense or the team? I don't know. But listen, again, I'm not going to argue nobody that wants to point blame at Mike Tomlin. Have it. I'm not arguing that. I will just say for this game itself, it's tough for me to put the blame on the head coach, only the head coach, when the offense produced 6 points. Because again, I'm with you, King Munchies. I'm with you. But again, what about the games what about last week? What about the week before? That's what I'm saying. What happened in this game? You know, how did they produce in these other games? This is why I continue to tell you guys that I believe it's more about player execution. I put blame on Mike Tomlin, or I'll put responsibility on Mike Tomlin for offensive coordinator, philosophy, right? Offensive coordinator and offensive philosophy and defensive philosophy, that has Mike Tomlin all over it. Even though the play callers are the coordinators, Mike Tomlin has a philosophy. We've all established that, and I talk about it every week, right? But you can't change your mind when the philosophy works. So if we're just not happy with the philosophy, or if the philosophy is growing old, I'm with y'all all day. But if it's the same philosophy and one week we put up 29 and another week we put up 30 and the next week, then why didn't it work today? Is it the philosophy or is it the execution? You understand? You understand what I'm saying? It might be a little bit of both, but what all I'm saying is, even with the lack of diversity, if you will, on the offense, even if it's a lack of that, 6 points, there's no excuse. Somebody ain't executing. I'm sorry. Derek Moore says, did I see Fryer move wide open on the left side of that second to last drive? They were very hesitant to look Myles Garrett way, though. Maybe. I actually think on one of those passes to MVS, I actually think Freiermuth had position. Remember, Freiermuth, let's say he was here, MVS was there, and I think if Aaron Rodgers throws it to the outside, it even shows after the play where Freiermuth did a motion like, you know, I don't know if he was talking to Aaron Rodgers saying, hey, I had it, or was he saying MVS didn't run the, I don't know. But I thought it was an opportunity to get the ball to him right there. Hey, man, we got more Wonder Bread. Round of applause. My man Keith V. Nelson, man, he says, need offensive mind. Defense don't win today's NFL. I don't disagree with that at all, brother. I don't disagree with you at all, man. I don't know if I haven't really seen your name before, so if you're new, welcome. Thank you, man, first and foremost. But I don't know how long you've been watching or listening. But I said a few weeks back, I would much rather us be more of a 11 personnel first type of team, man. I mean, you can still run the ball. I just would rather us be more of a spread type of offense where you could create instead of being this power ground and pound. Listen, can it work? Sure. You know, Derrick Henry and the Ravens went crazy last night against the Packers, who were kind of depleted, but still they did it. But I'm just tired of seeing that. And listen, when it works, cool. But I feel the same way even when it works. I feel like you have to be more offensive minded. You have to be more versatile in today's NFL. You can't just line up and run it. And man, I don't even know. So if some of you guys can give me the number, what was the third down? Oh my Lord. You know, kind of just breezing over the stats. I don't think we were very good on third down. I listened to Aaron Rodgers' presser. It's just bad, man. The offense was just bad today. And 1 second, guys, I'm going to read some of the Tomlin comments because, again, I like to hear him, whether I agree or disagree. I like to hear him. My man, Infamous Tim, that round of applause was both for you and Keith V. Nelson. Y'all know I appreciate the Wonder Bread. He says, I hear you, Sim, but I said it earlier this year. His lack of snaps was concerning. Our top two receivers out and brand new guys are featured more than him. Very true. That's why I said, listen, Tim, I'm going to watch. You know, word around the mill was the Steelers wanted to get bigger at wide receiver, which was more of an influence as of why Roman Wilson didn't take the reins. I don't know that to be true. Like I said, I'm just going to watch. But I'm going to share the concern with you because I don't understand why he's not on the field. I haven't seen anything, and with my two eyes watching film of when he was on the field, I haven't seen a reason for him not to play. Again, Shout outs to Alex Kazua. If you guys haven't seen it, he did a independent video on his channel. This is Steelers Depot, explaining how Roman Wilson was having a very open and winning and creating separation and the ball not coming his way. So I don't know the reason why. So let's just say I'll share the concern with you. All right, let's read some of the Tomlin comments, man. Let me see what y'all got. What y'all got? Let's see. Walter says, what up, Steelers fam? Sure ain't the Steelers and their coaching. You said sure ain't the Steelers and their coaching. I'm not sure what that means, my brother. What else y'all got? I'm always curious, man. Again, I am not biased at all, and I'm gonna give y'all my last point about this game in a minute, so I can prove it to y'all. Zubu Man says, so Tomlin gets credit for the past few weeks, but no blame for this week. Wow, laugh out loud. See, Zoo, again, I'm gonna spend my time and explain it because I care about y'all, but y'all clearly are not listening to what I'm saying. I consistently say, let me say it really clear for those in the back. I don't give coaches full credit for wins or losses. All of the people in this chat right here who've been rocking with me from years upon years upon years, can y'all co-sign how often I say that? I do not give head coaches full credit or blame, win or lose. Y'all rock with me. Y'all watch me, right? I would assume and expect y'all to really pay attention to what I say. Now, if we kind of having miscommunication, I know sometimes I misread what you guys are saying. That's fair. But I consistently say I put more emphasis on player execution. When the ball is snapped, I look at coaches for how they manage the game, their clock management, going for it or not, things like that, personnel utilization. What happens in between the lines, I put on the players. We just saw the Detroit Lions game where we ran roughshod over those guys. That was player execution. Because nobody gave Arthur Smith credit, right? Even though he probably should have got some credit, but it was more so execution. So again, it is not a Tomlin thing with me. You guys make it a Tomlin thing. I promise y'all, stick around. When there's a new head coach in Pittsburgh, watch how I judge him the same way. Watch. I want y'all to lock that in. December 28th, 2025. Remember the day that Sim said that. Watch how I judge that coach. I can guarantee y'all without a shadow of a doubt that it's going to be the same message. Watch. Let's keep it going. What else y'all got with Tomlin? Tomlin's coaching tree is a stump. I like that. That's funny. What else y'all got? I'm always just curious to see where the blame is placed, man. Tim Robinson said Tomlin still sucks. Okay. I don't know. Somebody's asking Zoo, why is this conversation always about Tomlin? It's always a crowd that does that. And I don't want to point the finger at folks. I'm just saying it's always a crowd that, you're going to pick whatever narrative. Sometimes it's coaches, sometimes it's certain players, sometimes it's coordinators. It's always a crowd that's going to feel. That's why I don't try to debate it. Only thing I try to debate with you guys is your misunderstanding of the point I'm trying to make. Knight Rider says, funny because when the non-losing season streak gets brought up, Tomlin alone gets the credit, but playoff losses gets pointed towards players. I don't know if I agree with that. I think it all should be one and the same. Tomlin hasn't had a losing season, right? But in all those seasons, again, I would judge those games still the same way, whether it's a playoff loss or not. Me personally, again, this is how I roll. I want y'all to bookmark this for when we have the new coach. I'm always going to look at players first until it's stuff that I can extremely, like, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, until it's stuff that I can stamp and say that was the head coach. Outside of that, I'm looking at players first. The most recent one that comes to mind is Jacksonville Jaguars coming into Pittsburgh and winning the game 45-42. You can say coaching all you want. You can blame Tomlin. You can blame Keith Butler. You can blame who was the coordinator then. Was it Fichtner or was it Canada? I think it was Fichtner. You can blame whoever you want to blame for that. Somebody won't execute to give up 45 points. There was a lack of execution somewhere. That's all I'm saying. Round of applause, man. Who we got? The Celtic Craftsman. Round of applause. Appreciate the Wonder Bread, sir. Oh, man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. He says, so glad I catch your show. Been watching since 2017. Good Lord, man. Thank you for the support. He says, keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to keep it on, man, as long as you guys keep coming around. I appreciate all of y'all. Oh, it was Todd Haley. Todd Haley was, okay. So, yeah, it's just, again, man, like I said, at one point I said I wouldn't entertain these conversations, but I realized that that's not fair to you guys who listen. Some of y'all want to hear it. Some of you guys are new. But that's just how I feel about coaching, man. It's just my philosophy. Maybe it's the player in me that, I'm going to put more emphasis on the coaches. Knight Rider says, by your logic, no coach could ever get fired. See, again, y'all take what I say out of context. You have it. You have it. Again, it's a clear distinction. I think everybody can recognize bad coaching decisions versus bad player execution. I think we've all seen NFL coaches who've been fired that should have been fired, and y'all knew why. I also feel like there's coaches that have gotten fired that shouldn't have been fired. Coaches with winning records have gotten fired. They shouldn't have been fired. But again, I also understand the business of the NFL, which is the reason why I keep telling y'all, Mike Tomlin, listen, the Rooney said it themselves, not Art, the brother. Did y'all remember that interview in the offseason? He talked about how, well, if you look at it globally, we've been doing pretty well. Do y'all remember that? I told y'all this. Us fans want more championships and more playoff wins, of course. But when you look at it from a business standpoint, you're going to be hard pressed to find an organization like the Steelers. Let's just say it's another team that has not lost season-wise in 22 years and is always in the conversation because of who the coaches are that they've employed, keeping the team close enough to keep butts in the seats. From a business standpoint, you're not going to get rid of that. Desperate franchises do that. I'm not making an excuse. I'm just explaining to you, I've learned how our organization thinks. They have 6 championships, which is tops in the league, along with New England. We want that, of course, but what they want? Ching, ching, ching. What keeps ching, ching, ching? Not having losing seasons. So again, my mind just thinks a little deeper sometimes, guys. That's all I'm saying. It would be the same way. Listen, when Coach Cowher was having losing seasons, he didn't get fired either. And I love Coach Cowher, because Coach Cowher had a mystique about him as well that made people feel like, come on, man. Some of it is the Rooney way, but also some of it, they know what they're doing. Again, go watch that interview. I forget which Rooney it was. Go watch the interview in the offseason when this dude said himself, when you look at the field, we've been pretty successful. Translation, we still making money. Y'all keep talking about fire, we good. That's coming from upstairs. That's all I'm saying. that's all I'm saying. So I'll stay down here as a fan and I will argue the football point. But all of that fire this, fire that, guys, I'm never going to go there because I understand that the Steelers organization ain't doing that. But yeah. What else y'all got, man? I think I'm about to roll. Gavin says, if Tomlin goes, I don't care. It is what it is, but stop always blaming the coaches. I'm going to give Gavin's comment another round of applause. Gavin is making the point that I try to make. Maybe I do it a little more. The point is, it is never always just the coaches. That's the point I have always made. It is never just the head coach being the reason the team wins or loses. It's never that. Now, yeah, we've all watched football a long time. There's some organizations and you say, oh, yeah, that guy got to go. But I can 100% promise you, it's never just the coaches. And even for the people who want to say, oh, well, he only won the Super Bowl because it was Cowboys players. Well, does that mean that the players were executing? So if you're going to say that, then you must blame the players, right? Or let me give you another scenario. Same thing with John Gruden. Yeah, Tony Dungy built the team. But so were the players executing for John Gruden? And that's why they won? So if that's the case, then you have to say the reason why they lose is the players don't execute. All I'm saying is it's a combination of the two, man. Again, Mike Tomlin's philosophy is his philosophy. But the players, they got to execute the philosophy. That's all I'm saying, man. But anyway, guys, let's move on. Oh, yeah, look, right on time. I'm with you, Jim. All right, bye. Goodbye. I'm with you. Let's move on. Let me move on to the last and final thing I'm going to say about this game. Was that pass interference? Let me ask y'all. Was that pass interference on Denzel Ward on what I believe was the fourth down? Was that pass interference? Great point, Walter. As I'm looking at Walter's comment, I did see that Jaylen Warren was averaging, 5.4 a carry, 12 for 64. I don't know how that game went. Maybe we couldn't run it early. I don't know. All right. Ali says, yes, it was PI. Zubu Man says no. Kev So Fun says yes. Derek says yes. Rajan says yes. Mark says no doubt about it. Who else? Let's answer that question, guys, and then I'm going to get to the point. Was that pass interference? Yes, Zubu. They probably should have ran more. Again, who calls the offensive plays? Let's just say it was both Tomlin and Arthur Smith. Yes, that's something you can blame the coaching for. That's a clear thing you can say, hey, why didn't y'all run the ball more? Pick a coach. If y'all think that was Tomlin, okay, I'm with you on that. If y'all think it was Arthur Smith, I'm with you on that. That is a coaching thing. See the difference? But did that lose them the game? I don't know. I don't think that lost them the game. Maybe they should have stuck to it a little more, but like I said, what was happening, y'all saw it. I didn't see it. What was happening? Could we not run it early or what? What was going on? We shouldn't be in that position. Absolutely. All right, so most of you guys saying it was pass interference. So here's the thing. Just like the Steelers win against the Baltimore Ravens, was that a touchdown or was it not? And people said, oh, Ravens got robbed. Just like the Steelers against the Detroit Lions. Oh, the Lions got robbed. Guess what? It shouldn't have come down to us throwing a pass to MVS on 4th and goal with 20 seconds or whatever was left on the clock. The game wasn't won and lost in that one play. Period. So the same way I feel that way about the Detroit Lions game and the Ravens game, I'm going to say the same thing about our team. There were however many more plays available to you to win the football game, and you didn't win it. Because guess what? You win that, right? Let's say it's a PI. Let's say we score. It's still a tied ball game. That wasn't going to win the game unless we would have went for 2, but then that's not guaranteed. So I don't even want to hear it. Yes, it was pass interference, but what I'm saying is, as a fan, I'm not putting the game on that call. Period. I keep trying to tell y'all I don't have any biases when it comes to the teams and all of that. Yes, I love the Steelers, but I'm going to call it like it is. They had no business coming down to that. They had no business only scoring 6 points. Blame who you want to blame. No business scoring 6 points. NFL football game, you hold an NFL offense to 13, give up 10 in the first half, and they don't get nothing else until later on in the game to make it 13. You hold that team to 13 and you can't win. You can't score 14 points. 14 points in an NFL game. Again, pick your narrative. I'm not building no narrative. Coaching might have had a hand in that with play calling, yes. But also, it sounds like to me, as someone who played the sport, the players did not execute. Because whatever we was doing wasn't working. So it's a mixed pot. It is not Tomlin lost it. Oh, Aaron Rodgers lost it. It's a full gamut. That's all I be trying to say. And let me tell y'all about next week. I don't know. Played a very close game against the Ravens the first time, but here's the thing, man. At any given time, we can lose to the Ravens. Derrick Henry had a field day last night. Don't mean he's going to do that against the Steelers. Last time we played him, we held him down. For the most part, he ended up with 95 yards, but I think it was a slow burn. He started getting a little bit of yards later. Can we win the game? Sure. Do I have confidence that we will? No. Why? Is it because of the head coach? No. Is it player execution? No. You know what it is for me? What I said at the beginning of the show. This team has not played complementary football on offense and defense many times this season. That would be the reason why I do not know what they're going to do on Sunday. If they win, I have zero knowing of what they're going to do in the playoffs, because I don't believe this team is going to play good football on both sides of the ball for many times back to back. I do not believe that's going to happen. I have no expectations for this year's team. They get in, great. They don't, oh well. That's it. That's all I got. I don't trust it. It's going to be fun. All right, here's the last thing. This ain't got nothing to do with the team, but I'm going to say this. I'm going to throw this at y'all and see how y'all feel. There's a lot of talk out there, man, about scripts, NFL being rigged and all that. Can I be honest with y'all for a second? Do y'all mind if I be completely transparent with y'all for a minute? And I mean completely transparent. The day that it is confirmed that the NFL is fixed, I'm not sure I watch it anymore. I'm being honest. What will be the point? Am I naive to think that betting and all that kind of stuff could get a hold of a person or two? Sure. Anything's possible. But I'm talking about to the degree that people say this rigged. Why are you still watching? The entertainment value goes out the window for me the day it's confirmed. I'm not talking about what y'all say, it's definitely, no. I'm talking about the day it's confirmed. Everybody knows. I'm cool. I would have memories of how much of a fan I was of a football team, but I would be cool after that. I'm just saying. I would be cool on that. So the only reason why I say that, because see, people come in this chat all the time and they keep saying, oh man, why are you still watching that? And why are you complaining? Tell y'all a story, man. When I was a kid, I was a huge wrestling fan. Me and my mom used to go to matches and all of that. And let me tell y'all what happened to me. I found out that that wasn't real. I haven't watched it since. Now listen, I understand that's a different type of entertainment, right? I get it. It's more of a show with wrestling, with the, just the athletes and the shape they got to be in to do some of these moves. That's different. But I'm talking about straight up sports, bruh. Not saying wrestling isn't a sport, but I'm talking about straight up sports. If they're just moving chess pieces and they're deciding who's gonna win, dog, count me out. I'm not gonna enjoy it. So I only bring that up just to say, dog, if that's how you feel, don't talk to me about it, because until it's confirmed, I'm gonna keep rooting for these teams the way I always do. Because then you could counter the conspiracy and say, well, why do they let certain teams win then? And why was that there's things that you could say, well, why did they do that? But that's just my little 2 cents. All right, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I don't got anything else. Somebody just said, they say boxing is rigged and scripted. But man, shoot. Speaking of boxing, and y'all might have caught me saying it at the end of the show Tuesday. Man, boy, I knew the day that boy fought a real fighter. I knew it was gonna be ugly. I remember when my son said, Dad, Jake Paul is fighting Anthony Joshua. I said, what? I said, son, that's not a fake fight. This guy's a real fighter. And y'all saw what happened. So, but all right, man, I'm out of here, guys. Look at this guy. This guy says, he says, this guy says, I'm late, but please tell me you're not focusing on defending Tomlin again. Man, I swear, I don't know. If that's what y'all get out of it, have it. But as a fan base, I've never seen, and I'm sure other fan bases deal with this, I've never seen such disjointingness. I've never seen it. You guys are completely crazy that think that. I just don't. I don't know. All I want to know is, again, if for you guys who believe that, what do I get out of doing that? Where's my reward? Where does it benefit me to defend or cape for a coach or a player? I will never understand the prize. If y'all tell me the prize, then maybe I would say, oh, okay. If you told me that the Steelers was paying me $20 million a year to defend their decision to keep Mike Tomlin, I would come on here and tell y'all, hey, by the way, they paying me to say this. I'd have no problem admitting that. But, I would love to know what my prize would be for defending the head coach. But all right. I love y'all, man. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, I love y'all just the same, man. So I appreciate everybody for coming through. Hey, by the way, here it is, man. If y'all haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Hey, if you want to talk to me live and in living color, I should have the Discord back open on Tuesday, Terrible Towel Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And hey, instead of typing with these, call and say it out of your mouth, man. Let me hear it. Let me hear how you feel about the team, me, whoever else. You know, I'm one of them. I want to hear. I invite the smoke, man. And I'm talking just, you know, not real smoke, but I invite it. I don't run from anything. I don't run from opinions. I don't run from anybody having to say what they got to say. I won't cut you off. I won't mute you. I'll let you get it all out. All right. So outside of that, y'all know the routine. Hey, man, y'all stay healthy. Stay safe. God bless. Good night. Like always, I thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in. And hey, for some of you guys that got high hopes for this year, there's still a chance. Outside of that, man, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace. Hold on. I gotta come back. This guy says you won't debate me about Tomlin. Call in on Tuesday. But I'm gonna just give you fair warning. I have nothing to debate. I'll listen and I'll give my opinion. But okay, call in on Tuesday. Let's do it. I'm inviting you. Please call the Discord on Tuesday. Let's hear it. But again, it's not going to be a lot of debate. I don't debate opinions. I'll even give you a head start. I think Mike Tomlin is a real good football coach. I want you to give me concrete evidence of saying he's not. Something that we all will agree to. Not an opinion. I want you to give concrete evidence where every last one of us would say, yeah, he's not a good coach because of that. If you can do that, I'm willing to listen. Come on in, brother. We'll be here Tuesday. All right, I'm going for real this time. Peace.